Are you sick and tired of gambling your hard-earned money on Madden and 2K packs? Well, look no further than my sponsor, MMOEXP, for the cheapest and most reliable Madden and 2K coins on the market. And of course, do not forget to use code Ferdy for 5% off. A link for their website is at the top of the description. What's going on, guys? Today we have another installment of the best budget cards at each position currently here in Madden 23. And instead of there just being one budget for today's video, we're actually going to do 3 different budgets per position. So a quarterback for under 100K, a quarterback for under 50K, and a quarterback for under 20K. But yeah, before we get started, our shout out of the day goes to my man Will for commenting on last video and answering the question of the day in last video. And of course, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications. We post really everything related to Madden 23 Ultimate Team. So if you do play Madden 23 Ultimate Team, hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. So getting us started today, we have our quarterback for under 100K, and that's Marcus Mariota. Good speed, good release, good height, good weight, good as a ball carrier, good release, good accuracy stats. Mariota, it's hard to beat what this card can do for under 100K, and if you do get lucky, you can definitely catch him for a little bit lower, but he's going for like basically right around 100K right now. But I mean, that's it's hard to beat what Mariota can do. He's honestly like an A-tier quarterback still in this game for under 100K. And now we have our under 50K. I'm going to go with Mike Vick. I know he is a lefty, but Mike Vick does have the second fastest release in the game, I believe it is. I think it's second fastest in the game if we check. Yep, Slinger 2, that's Mike Vick's release. So second fastest in the game on this card with good speed, good acceleration, decent accuracy stats for, you know, an 84 overall quarterback. But the main reason is for the release on this card. So, yeah, 84 overall Mike Vick for under 50K. And for under 20K, I'm going to go with Skylar Thompson. Release isn't that great. He does have the Gen 1 release, which if we look is middle of the pack, so not awful. But the main reason why we have him on here is for that throw power, and also for an 83 overall, he's got pretty good accuracy stats. So, yeah, Mariota under 100K, Mike Vick under 50K, and Skylar Thompson for under 20K. So now moving on to the running backs. This one is very close to 100K, but DeMarco Murray, he does go sometimes over 100, but he has dipped under. His average price is right at 100K. So this one is very borderline, but I think DeMarco Murray for 100K, kind of like Mariota. I mean, he's still pretty top tier in this game. You know, good speed, good height, good weight. I mean, 87 speed, still pretty good. Still very good for a running back. And under 100K, it's a big W. And now we have our under 50K. There is kind of a drop off here, but I'm going to go with J.K. Dobbins. I believe he was in the first episode of this series as well, but under 50K, I think he's going for about like 30 maybe right now, 38, but it's mainly just for the speed. This card does look very good. And for our under 20K, this card actually only goes for 10K, but 83 speed with 82 acceleration, it's pretty good for, you know, 82 overall, 10K running back. So if you are just getting started, this would be a running back that you could use. I mean, definitely like the best in that price range for sure. But yeah, those are our budget running backs. So next up, we have our receivers, and coming in at our 100K budget is George Pickens. I'm a fan of this card for a lot of reasons. One is the fact that he's 6'3", has pretty good speed. For under 100K, we're looking at, you know, 87, probably the fastest you're going to find for under 100K. I think Brandon Cooks has that speed, but give me the height and also give me like the blocking ability that George Pickens has too, which will definitely help out the run game. So for under 100K, Pickens, super top tier option. Like, he's just good all around in this game. Route running, speed, size, checks all the boxes. Next up, we have Jerry Jeudy 86. So this card is going for a little bit over 50K, but I do think tomorrow his price should get under 50K. It definitely should with all the new Gridiron Guardian cards coming out. But I mean, 87 speed, he potentially could have been the 100K budget. He could have been, because he's like 10K over 50. But I feel like he's close enough, and you might be able to catch him for under 50. But 6'1", good route running, top tier speed, good after the catch. I think Jerry Jeudy simply just had to be on here today. And for our final receiver, it's kind of the same thing. He's a little bit over 20K, but I do think it's worth spending that little bit extra. I definitely do. 85 speed, good route running. Yes, there's guys like, I think Robbie Anderson might have 85 speed, or maybe it's 84, but I know for a fact Marquise Brown has 85 speed, but not much route running to back it up. Garrett Wilson, he's not 5'9" like Marquise Hollywood is, but yeah, 6 foot, 85 speed, 86 acceleration. It all looks very good. So I would say if you have to spend a little bit extra on any of these 3 receivers, I think it's worth it. I think it definitely makes sense. Okay, so now moving into our tight ends. Coming in at under 100K, we have Lawrence Cager, 6'5" with 86 speed, 87 acceleration. Also, some pretty good route running to back it up. Solid after the catch. Not the best run blocker because he's a receiver turned tight end. But yeah, good speed, good size, decent route running for under 100K. It's hard to beat this. Coming in at our under 50K, which you can find this card for under 50K, is Donnie Parham. I mean, he's still super nasty. 6'8", 85 speed is still just super nasty. I mean, he has gone for under 50K within the last 30 minutes. I mean, about that, but you can definitely find him for that. You definitely can find him for that. And over time, his price will move down and down and down. But kind of the same thing with Jerry Jeudy. I feel like spending that extra 10K on a guy like Donnie, it just makes sense. I mean, this card is still used by on some God squads legitimately. So Donnie, I think, had to be on here today. And finally, for under 20K, we have OJ Howard, 85 speed, 88 acceleration, decent route running, 6'6", 250. Pretty good trucking stiff arm. I mean, for this price, OJ Howard is really, really good. And now we have our offensive linemen. So for offensive linemen, the main thing that I'm going to say is, yeah, sure, you can go out there and spend your coins on offensive linemen. And I know if you're a budget or no money spent, it's very tempting. And sometimes you definitely should do it if a card is super good. But whenever you have a BND fantasy pack or any kind of option to get a BND card back from solos or however you want to get it, pick offensive linemen. Because at this point of the year, you can use these cards into like December. Like you really could for sure. And yeah, there are some decent options for under 100K, but a lot of these guys can be picked BND, like Norwell, for example. Guys like that. So that's my biggest tip for offensive linemen. I don't have any, budget ones because they all kind of play the same. But just use your free cards, use your BND cards on offensive linemen. I know it's not flashy. I know, and sometimes there are really good cards, but whenever you can, I think going with a BND lineman, that's what I do. I mean, I have a really good team, and I still use these BND campus heroes. There's that Tom Compton, trying to grind him out, I guess. There are options. So, yeah, that's my tip for offensive line. So next up, we have our left ends and our right ends. And if you have like a budget, no money spent team and chems don't matter, it doesn't matter if you have a left end at right end or vice versa. It only does affect Reggie White by 1 overall, so if that matters to you, then I guess whatever. But it literally does not affect their attributes. And the reason why I like these cards is because, especially on pass rushers, they have the same traits as their as the 90 overall Reggie White, who's a really good card in this game. But good speed, good power moves, pretty good against the run as well for an 87 overall. And also, I don't know if you guys can see it or not. You can't. I'll show you right here what I'm talking about. See how all these traits are on yes? High motor, big hitter, bull rush, spin move, swim move. So his bag is super, super deep. And yeah, he has the same exact traits. And he's going for basically 100. Oh, wait, what happened here? Oh, actually, never mind. Those cards didn't sell. These are the ones that sold. That makes sense. But under 100K, you can definitely get this card for, and he's going to play super, super well. Next up, we have under 50K. I'm going to go with Yannick Ngakoue. Yannick? Is that how you say his name? I always get the last name messed up, but I know it's Yannick. Yannick here with the decent speed, good finesse, good power, and his traits. All his pass rush traits are on yes. Big hitters on no, but all the traits are on yes. Again, very important. And finally, we have Derek Rivers. This card is going for, like 20K-ish. His traits are not as good. He has 2 yes, 1 on no, but high motors on yes. And good speed off the edge with also a good finesse move for this price tag. So those are our right ends and our left ends. So now we have our interior linemen, and most likely, no one really needs this position because you have a guy like Derek Brown. If you've been playing since the beginning of the year, you have your team captain, Sam Adams, who both play very well, obviously still, but coming in at under 100K, someone that I use for a good part of this year, and that's Jordan Davis. Just a body, really, and also has good stats, like good speed for a man who is 6'6", 241 pounds, does get inside stuff too, but crazy impact block, crazy tackling, crazy block shed. This man gets after it, but if you do need a defensive tackle, this one definitely makes sense. There isn't many options that are budget because there are free ones, like I said, but Jonathan Allen, good speed, good power move, 6'3", 300 with 88 pursuit, which is really top tier for under 50K. And for under 20K, we have the All Madden Warren Sapp collectible. Kind of the same thing as Reggie White, where his traits carry over. So yes on everything besides strips ball. But, I mean, his stats don't blow your socks off, but it's the traits you're looking for as well as the 6'2", 303 frame that Warren Sapp has. So next up, we have our left outside and right outside linebackers. It's the same thing as right end, left end. Doesn't matter where you put them. I think the overall actually does stay the same on outside linebackers for whatever reason. But Anthony, and you can also play these guys at ends as well, kind of the same way. Their overalls do drop a little bit more, but again, the stats are not affected. So Anthony Barr, they gave him, pass rush stats this year. He does come with inside stuff on his card, but 87 speed, 6'5", 255, good pass rusher, good against the run. The traits are the one problem on this card that I think could hurt him a little bit. If you want a card that's slightly better as a pass rusher, I would say Shaq Barrett. But Anthony Barr's speed and his size, it's just too hard to not put him on here. And his price, he goes for over 100, like a little bit, but you can definitely find him for about 90, as you guys can see right there. Next up, under 50K, we have the Core Elite Micah Parsons. Micah card's crazy, as you guys know. 2 of the 3 traits on yes, going for about 40K right now. Can play some zone, can rush the passer, good speed, very athletic card, very versatile. And then finally, we have, again, the same thing with, Warren Sapp and Reggie White. We have Terrell Suggs, who, great, crazy acceleration, good pass rush stats for an 83 overall. And most importantly, as you guys can see right now, right there, all the traits are, again, on yes for about 18K. So hard to beat that. And, actually, he doesn't get the cool nickname on the back, but still, this card's going to play super well. So now we have our middle linebackers, and there were definitely some other options that could be here. I also do like Fred Warner, but Foyesade Louis Kuhn has to be on here. This guy's a monster. He was really good in last year's game. Or was that 2 years ago? I don't really remember. That may have been 21 where he had that good card for the Falcons. Or it was last year. I don't really remember, but I know he had a good card one of those 2 years. But good speed, good acceleration, 6'2", 215. Can stop the run pretty well. Not a pass rusher, he's a middle linebacker, but 75 zone coverage. This is just a solid option, and his price tag is kind of the same as Barr's, going for right around 100K. And if we keep moving here, under 50K, I had a hard time finding some, good options here, but I'm going to go with Ray Nitschke. Ray Nitschke, a good speed and good zone, and 6'3", 235 for an 84 overall. It's going to be hard to beat this. It really is. So Ray Nitschke. And then finally, our final one, under 20K, we're going to go with Mack Wilson, who I think was a safety that they moved into linebacker maybe. Wait, it kind of looks, I don't really know the history of Mack Wilson too well. But 6'1", 233 with good speed, good hit power. Again, for an 82 overall, that's going for this price tag. It is hard to beat what this card can kind of do. It is, and there's really no better option at the middle linebacker position for under 20K. So now we have arguably one of the most important positions on the field. And I say this in almost every budget video, but at cornerback and safety is where I would spend a little bit more coins. I think it just makes sense. If you have a good secondary, you'll just win more games. It's simple as that. Also, having a good pass rusher will help out too. I always say this, but I like building my defense first and putting more coins into my defense than my offense. But that's just my opinion on team building. But under 100K, I'm going to go with Sidney Jones, 6 foot, can play man, can play zone, good pursuit, good speed at 87. And if we come down here, he's going to be going for around 100. You could definitely find him for it. Like an hour ago, 84K. It's hard to beat that right there. So Sidney Jones for under 100K. And all I'm going to say is at 50K, there's a huge drop off at cornerback. There really is. So we have Denzel Ward, Core Elite, 86 speed, the acceleration, 85. Man, I use this card, but haven't used them recently. And we have a 91 speed receiver dropping tomorrow. So yeah, if you're 5, wait, no, that's not, 5 speed. If you're 5 speed behind the fastest receiver, it's a little bit spooky. You just can't come across a guy like that. So yeah, I think, again, spending a little bit extra on your corners and safeties just makes sense. And finally, the budget demon who's kind of been good all year is Caleb Farley, 87 speed. It's hard to beat what this card can still do. 87 speed is really, it's really good, like really good. So 87 speed, 6'2". This card plays well despite having low awareness, low play rec. But him in coverage, he was playing well for me. And 87 speed still is not bad, especially for about 12K. This card, not 12K, sorry. About 16, we'll say. But 15K, okay. Yeah, Caleb Farley's still a really good option at corner. And finally, we have our free safety and our strong safety. So, I'm not going to lie, under 50K, you really can't be running these cards. Maybe you could be running under 50K, but under 20K, I would just not recommend, you really just shouldn't be going online. Really, at safety, you definitely, like I said, got to spend more on your DBs. But we do have a free safety and strong safety option for under 100K. Marcus Williams, good speed, good man, decent zone, good size at 6'1". And then at strong safety, we have Budda Baker. Good speed, can stop the run very well, and also has good zone coverage. So both these guys, if you're running these two guys over the top, you can definitely play online. That's 200K right there. But yeah, That's pretty solid. That's pretty solid for their prices. And then we have Justin Reed here for under 50K. And by the way, we do have that out of position alter ego Cordero Patterson coming out tomorrow. I'm not sure what his price is going to be, but if you are like a budget, no money spent guy, even on a God squad, I mean, he's like a top 2 safety in the game. So, I mean, just putting that out there. But we have Justin Reed here, 85 speed, can play man, can play zone. I was also debating there was a, who was it? I think it was Woodson. This Rod Woodson card right here. My mouse is bugging right now. I clicked the wrong guy, but this Rod Woodson card is very similar if you want to go free safety, strong safety with Justin Reed, Rod Woodson, if you're under that budget. Then finally, like I said, 20K. I mean, you really can't be out here running this guy over the top, but 83 speed Minka is like the best option really for under 20K. But yeah, just spend more on your DBs and you should be chilling. So yeah, that is going to do it for today's installment of the best budget cards at each position. If you did enjoy today's video, make sure you hit that like button. If I didn't miss any names, let me know down in the comment section. And of course, if you didn't make it to the end of the video, let's comment the demon emoji for a chance to be shouted out in the next video. And as always, I will see you boys in the next one.